Have you missed me? I'll be honest.
Let's just pretend that we've not seen each other every day since you've been back, yeah?
Let's just pretend we've not had sleepovers.
Yeah.
Have you been anyway, mate? Good.
I'm alright, mate, yeah.
He's making me look fat on this now.
Oh, am I tanned as well? Am I more tanned than you? Where have you been?
Don't get confident. You can give one thing, not everything. Yeah, I've just been hiding away. I've not even been in sun.
Yeah, you're lying. Didn't even go to fucking Bali.
Yeah, didn't even go. But prep.
Easy, mate, innit? That's just life, innit, prep?
Yeah, it's easier than off-season, isn't it?
Do you know what? Yeah, but sometimes I sit back, me, and I think, is it because of the years you've put into it, right?
In what sense?
So, remember doing your first ever prep?
Yeah.
It was torture, mate,
PTSD.
yeah, same. It was absolute fucking torture, but once and then you go into off season and you don't really take it serious at first. You eat a load of shit, you get fat, you kind of mess around, you go back into prep and prep's horrific again. And I think it's when you start to take off season serious, which I've compounded that for years and years and years now. Now off season's torture because you're really trying to push for progress. It just makes prep easy.
Yeah, and the less, I don't know how, I think it's the cognitivity, the energy, the less stress that you kind of put on your body. Like you were saying the other day when you was training, you was actually stronger, lighter, and on less food.
Way stronger, yeah, because one, your motivation's back. And I just think when you've got all that less inflammation and stuff, and you're not redlining it, so you're not because if your stomach's full, all your blood's there. So then you go into the gym, you're trying to get a pump. Initially, when you start to eat food, obviously you start to get a great pump, but I think you get to a point where you start to lose that again.
Yeah, the insulin sensitivity.
Yeah, and then when you're actually training, you don't want to be there. Your joints are hurting. You're not getting a great pump, and you're getting fatter.
Do you think it's from pushing too hard for too long?
Yeah.
Or we discussed this before on the podcast, saying like too quickly.
Yeah, too quickly. Yeah, that definitely destroys you. But I think redlining it consistently for months on end.
Yeah.
Like, you'd always, me looking at it, I'd say, you should push, and then you start to get them signs, and then pull back, and then push, and then pull back. But I just never do on a personal level.
No.
I just push, and then I think, fuck this, I can push a bit more.
I think it's that whole thing as well of like, I'm not a pussy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everyone else would push. Fuck it.
And that's what you do.
Yeah,
that is what you. When you're in control of someone else, when you're helping someone else,
non-emotional.
Yeah. You've got the eyes, and you can go, no. Look, all the signs are there. You need to pull back. But when you're in your own head, you go, no, I'm not fucking giving up. No chance.
Yeah. I feel like shit, but I'm just gonna carry on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep pushing because I'll get over it.
Yeah. Just stop being soft.
Yeah, I'll get over it.
How's business?
Stressful, man.
Yeah,
Isn't that what business is?
Yeah, it's just a constant stress. We was having a chat before, weren't we, about saying like, when is enough enough? Do you know what I mean? Like when you're pushing hard.
Yeah, I think it's trying to find a balance in it, and then everyone's got a different life, different setup. Maybe you got wife and kids and whatever, and you're trying to figure out what's the most important to do at the right time. Because a lot of people say if they've got a family, a young family, they'll go, no, I need to drill this now because I need to set life up for the family. And then before you know it, you've not got a young family anymore. Your kids have grew up and they've left home, and you think, what the fuck was that past 10 years for? Do you know what I mean?
I think the same when I was saying when I was away, it was like I'm so used to the chaos that when I did have peace and did just have like, not complacency but content, it was like fucking, I felt weird.
Yeah.
I just wasn't used to it at all.
You feel a bit lost, don't you?
Well, that was what you were just saying then. I was meant to come back in April. You were meant to come out. I was meant to come back in April, and then, but I got to a point where I was like, I'm just so chilled and so relaxed. I'm like, I'm not making any progress.
I feel guilty.
Yeah, I'm not moving forward. The business is just ticking over. We need to be pushing harder. We're not doing the pod. We're not doing YouTube.
But the real reason is you miss me and your
father.
Yeah.
The real reason is I miss our sex. No, but it's that's weird how like you get to a certain stage where you're just like thinking more. As a bodybuilder, as a business entrepreneur.
Yeah, more doesn't bring happiness, or does it either? Because like people always, if people are younger, you've heard these stories before. People go, I want to be a millionaire, right? So they do everything they can to become that millionaire, and then they are a millionaire and they go, I'm still not happy. So rather than thinking when you're younger, what have I got to do to be a millionaire, it should be, what have I got to do to be happy? and just chase that instead.
I always have that analogy of like being time rich, money rich, energy rich, and that doesn't mean you need to be rich in all of them to better than anybody else. No. It just means to be able to balance them all out, to have enough money and enough time and enough energy to spend it and do what you want. Yeah. Rather than a lot of people, what they do is they'll go, oh, when I retire, I'll have loads of money, I'll have loads of time, but no fucking energy. So
or maybe not even good health.
Yeah.
So what can you do?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you see this from people that are of a certain age that have got a lot of money put away, and they don't care about money anymore.
No, because it doesn't bring them anything.
No. So it's like, what was the fucking point all along?
Yeah.
Like, what have they missed out on to get that money after all that time?
What do you think with, like, in terms of that's business, what do you think in terms of bodybuilding? Like, do you think some people should push it all the way as far as they can? Do you think people should just be like, well, actually, I'm only going to reach this point. Is it worth it?
You definitely need to be a realist of where you're going to reach and on a time scale. So when I was working, as an engineer, mate, I'll tell you that. I was like, obviously, I was bodybuilding and everything. I was thinking, look, I've got time. I'm young enough. I can still, if I just keep pushing hard enough, I'm redlining it. I'm working every hour under the sun and then bodybuilding as well. But I know that something good's going to come from it, and I've got time to be able to make it. You know, you might put a stamp on it and go, by the time I'm 25, if I've not left my job, then it's not worth all the effort that I'm putting into bodybuilding. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and if you put a timeline on it, you will do everything you can to make it.
You need that definitive end goal.
Yeah, you can't just say,
when I'm going to do it.
Yeah, there needs to be a time scale. You know, luckily for me, it worked out, and you know, now I live that life, and I make my money from doing that, and I also helping other people get in shape and stuff, which is great. But for them, you know, if I was still, I'm 33 now, nearly 34. If I was this age, still working a full-time job, I probably wouldn't be bodybuilding, if I'm honest. Would
you not?
No. It just because I wouldn't have all the time that I'd have wasted to be able to get it. I have a lot more time now, so I have a lot of time to spend with the family, to spend with the kids while they're young and growing up. If I was still working as an engineer and working overtime and then having to go to the gym and then prep the meals and everything, I'd have no time at all to spend with the family.
Yeah.
I'd have missed the past 6-7 years of the kids growing up.
Which is like the
most important. Yeah.
From like, I was saying, like from like the ages of probably 5, because the first few years of kids you can't really remember.
No.
But from the ages of 5 to then really to like 12, 13 is where they're going to be like, Dad, I don't want you around now, fuck off.
Yeah.
You're a fucking, you're a burden now, fuck off. Just drop me off on at the cinema and fuck off.
Yeah, don't want to hold you down, walk to school no more.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like when that happens, it's devastating. Excuse me.
What's
so
that?
That's like, it's not a long period of time to have them like golden years with the kids, is it?
No, it happens so quick as well.
And I seen you the other day, like you went out play footy with Kai, and it's like stuff like that. He will. And as we would have kids as well, like remember that.
Yeah.
It's not really always the expensive things you buy, or it's the time that you spend with them, innit?
Yeah, and do you know what, mate? Even then, right, I felt fit. You know, I was running around, no pain. Everything was great because I'd lost a lot of weight from prepping, and I kicked the ball about, and he was like over the moon happy, right? And then when I sat down that night, I thought I felt guilty then because I thought for the past 6-7 months I've been in off season. I've spent 7 hours a day just eating. I've been sleeping 3 or 4 times a day. I've not kicked the ball about with him.
Yeah.
I've just missed 7 months of it. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then you think to yourself, I'll carry this on going forward, but bodybuilding's tough, mate, and it consumes you.
I think Mosey said a great thing the other week on a podcast. It was like, there is times where there has to be phases, though.
Yeah, 100%.
So you have to look at it like that off-season phase is a phase.
Yeah.
And then like you are doing now, the phase of prep and after prep, like you then being able to give back tenfold.
Yeah, it's fill up them pots and make sure they're all even. So you need to, as long as you can think of it in the bigger picture and go, right, okay, I have got these things to do. I have got finances, I've got bodybuilding, I have got family. For 6 months, I just know that bodybuilding is going to be up here and finances and family might be down here. But then as long as in the next 6 months I capitalise and bring these back up and even it back out, you've got to just make sure.
We say that every time on prep, don't we? We say, right, okay, let's take a little bit hit on finances.
Yeah.
And the minute we finish prep, we're like, right, let's fucking go.
Yeah,
it's like another phase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, you can't, I think there's only so much energy that you've got that you can't give yourself to everything. you know what I mean? You can't be like, right, I'm going to push business, absolutely redline business, I'm going to be the best family. You can try, but the best family man, and then it's like, right, I can be a pro bodybuilder.
So do you know, obviously we've got friends in the circle who are all doing well and making millions and whatever, and obviously you've had people say the same to you, they say to me, and they're like, quit bodybuilding now, in 6 months you'll have millions, because the dedication, the hard work, the time, everything that you've got to put in to nutrition and training and all the time you have to put into it, if you put that directly into business, you'll be making millions.
Yeah.
I actually spoke to someone yesterday, and they were going, I was like, mate, like unbelievably proud. It fuels my fire to see how well you're doing. And he was like, yeah, I've got the financial sorted. I'm making millions, but I haven't got the body.
Yeah.
And he said, I look at you the same way in terms of what you're able to do with your physique and your body and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, maybe we should just spend a bit of time together. You give me 20%, I'll give you 20%, we'll both be flying.
But that's the whole thing as well. I think in society, we always look at what we've not got, or we always want what we've not got.
Yeah.
Where it's like, then them like expectations and everything else comes into play, and the people think, fucking hell, like, yeah, but we've seen it. Like, I think James Holland said it a while back. He was like, I looked at, he was pulled up to a guy next to a Ferrari, and he goes, fucking hell, like, he's got a Ferrari, like. But then that guy would be looking at him, thinking, he's fucking fifth in the Arnolds. No one can buy that fifth in the Arnolds.
No, you can buy
Everyone can buy a Ferrari.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's a trade-off. But as people, we just think to ourselves, fucking hell, like I'm not worthy. I'm not doing well. We're always hypercritical of ourselves.
Even without trading off against like a physique, against money or whatever. I seen a picture once, and it was like really hard hitting, where I'm probably going to mess this up a little bit, but it was like someone
Classic.
Someone's driving a car, and someone sat at the bus stop going, oh, you know, I wish I was able to afford a car. And then this person's walks onto the bus, and then there's a person in a wheelchair like, I wish I was able to walk. Do you know what I mean? Like there's always that next fucking thing.
Yeah.
Someone's always worse off.
Yeah, 100%.
So you just need to like really, really, really appreciate everything that you have got.
I think it's a matter of us being able to accept being content.
Well, do you know what? Actually, in fact, I remember every year I'd always make more money, and I was always like, right, oh, imagine being able to afford that car, great. Imagine being able to afford that car, great. And every time I got the car that I wanted, it would last a few weeks, and it'd be like, I want the next thing, right? And it was only like this year, we'd had a few good conversations about it and stuff, and I was like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't need an expensive car.
Because you get the same hit of dopamine from buying, like I've done, fucking stupid cars.
Yeah.
So you do buying your first car.
There's
no more raising thingy, and all it makes you feel is when you pull up to the petrol station, someone goes, "Oh, your car's mint," but it's like,
great,
thanks. And after a bit, exactly the same with our physiques. You think, "Thanks, mate. Thanks."
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
Like,
It kind of goes a bit numb.
It just hear it all the time.
But I just got more. I then went, I don't need a fancy car. What I need is something that's going to benefit the whole family, and we can have some fun with. So then I end up spending $4,000 on this Land Rover that I've took off road with car. We can put a tent on top of it and take the bikes in it and everything, and don't care that it gets sand in it when we go to the beach. I've had more enjoyment out of that in like 3 months than I've had off cars for the last 5 years.
Because
you know what I mean?
Another thing that I was saying to one of the guys in Bali was like, the way I'm going to try and live my life is, because Kieran used my car every day of the week when I was away.
He fixed it for you.
He fixed it. He got it valeted, and I never post my car on social media for now, just out of a thing. And I had to post it on social media because of the valeting, just to be sound.
Yeah.
And the taxi driver was like, "Oh, is that?" Because he got me on Instagram. He was like, "Is that your car?" I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Oh, very nice." I was like, "Yeah." There's a new thing though, like I'm trying to do where, if I couldn't post it on social media, would I buy it?
Yeah.
Because most of the time, you probably wouldn't.
No, because what's it actually doing for you? Like
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like if you really want it yourself, so for example, if you bought a new watch, or if you bought a Lamborghini, or if you bought, and like you couldn't post it on social media, but would you still buy it? Most people fucking wouldn't.
No, a lot of the time.
Most people would just be like, they wouldn't book fucking first class flights. They wouldn't book this, like, because they can't post it for everyone to go, "Oh my god, you're smashing it."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, in reality, I'm actually smashing it less, because I'm fucking paying $2,000 a month for a car.
Fucking redlining it. Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's
instead of spending $2,000 in that month for an experience with friends or family.
Exactly.
Like, what have we been doing, mate, on a weekend?
Oh, it's been, yeah.
Going bowling, fucking
literally
ice skating.
Got me out and fucking in the mud, fucking walking around.
And do you know what? It's much better than any money that I spend.
Yeah, 100%. It's like you can go out to fancy restaurants and it's nice, but then it's like it's just the same because you're with friends and you're just enjoying it. But yeah, that's. So fuck it, we're just going to live in tents and
Yeah,
get cheap cars. I've actually got some questions. I've been prepared today, kind of, as always. But no, I'm glad that you're enjoying prep.
Wait there, one more on business, because I think we touched on it before, which might like put things in perspective for people. You know, everyone talks about a number, yeah, and you get asked a lot, like, what is the specific number you want to earn per month, right? And it's always an hard question to answer because it's going to change. Because for me, I just want enough of a number to be able to do the things that I want to do, right? But you get a lot of these guys that they'll be making $5,000 a month, and they've got like tons of time on the hand, being able to do everything they want to do, and they've got no outgoings, right? So it's a great wage, but they want to do everything they can to get to that 10k a month, but they never really think about what then comes with 10k a month, which is paying for back-end systems, maybe paying for staff. Instead of doing 20 hours a week, you've now got to do 40 hours a week. And what's the trade-off point there?
I'm in exactly that position.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like you could do let's just say X amount of money per month. Say you've got 50 clients. You do an X amount. That's 50 clients that I just have to deal with. 10 check-ins a day, Monday to Friday. Probably takes me 4 hours. 4 hours of hard work every day, done. Yeah. Weekends off, no problem. Now bringing the team on board, it's like you've got a PA, you've got a sales team, you've got VA, you've got content, you've got podcasts to do, all this.
And you've got time and effort you have to put into each of them.
And then it never stops, because then it's like, well, someone's not paid for on your Stripe, you've got to message me. Tom's got this, we've got a content day for this, Catherine's messaging me about this. It's like 100,000,001 things. Yes, on paper the revenue's probably doubled, great. But the actual money that I make now,
the profit is down,
is probably down.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm trying to look at is, for me, it's that point of like, right, we need to push hard for a little bit to then get that. But don't get me wrong, if I'm pushing for 3 years and it doesn't change, then
there's also got to be a point, yeah. So we went in the gym that I've got, went from 2 staff and things were great, went to 3 because I thought, right, okay, we hire this extra staff, that's less time I have to do, that's generating more money, like everything's great.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what Hormozy said the other day was, what do you do with that time that you bought back?
Exactly, yeah, right. So, and I didn't actually think about what I was going to do with the time, right? But that never came. That 3rd member of staff didn't allow me more time to do what I want to do. It's cost me more time. I'm now doing twice the amount of hours, because now there's the dynamic of 3 people being together and the needs of all, because the people as well, they're not just like fucking robots and numbers, you know what I mean? So you've got to deal with them on a personal level, but get them all to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. And the dynamic just changes massively. But then I sit back and look at it and I go, no, but if you want to grow, you couldn't grow with just the 2. You need the 3rd one. So yeah, you have to now double up on time for 6 months to be able to then get all that time freedom. Yeah. And as we mentioned before, what will happen then is you'll then get that time freedom and you're like, oh, all right, I'm stress-free now for a couple of months, and then you're like, right, I need to get another member of staff because I want to grow again. And you're just constantly repeating that cycle.
I think the only thing that drives me the most is impact. So if you look at it now, it's like clientele have tripled.
Yeah.
So we're helping 3 times as many people. But yes, the revenue and works more, but over time, it's the impact that you have on the industry and the impact that you have on people's lives, which is, and then it's like, for example, Tom's not here because he's fucking skiving in Paris.
But probably skiving.
I know, that's a fat little cunt. But he's absolutely buzzing, because he won't mind me saying he had about 6 online clients. He's got the gym, so he didn't really push it. He's now up to like 37 or 30, whatever he's on with the 8-week elite physique. And he's helping people, like, and he's absolutely buzzing.
You can see he thoroughly enjoys it.
Loves
it's
it.
Great,
he's sending
it?
me every day, look at this guy, 20 pounds down in 8 weeks. And he absolutely loves it. So then that's me as a coach, well, as a business owner, has now give Tom the opportunity to be one of the best. Because he used to have clients, but he never used to have the caliber of clients that we get.
Yeah.
So now he's able to be like, right.
And prove himself.
Yeah, prove himself. They're going to go on stage. He's got people going from 8 weeks, going now back 12 months, I'm going to stay with you and do it a competition.
And it's confirmation for himself as well that he's good at what he does.
Yeah. It's
like reaffirming and going, oh yeah, shit, I am actually pretty good at what I'm doing.
And like you are, we're really good, but it gives us that it gives that ability then to like all work together to be like, right, well, let's build something bigger than bigger.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think we get so, well, I do, and you probably will, because it is pressure from the external, like income, revenue, profit, blah, blah, but it's like, sometimes you got to look at it on the bigger picture.
The thing is, I think that anyone that's watching that owns a business, they'll understand. The more money you make, the more money that comes in, it doesn't sit in your arse pocket. Because you're that type of person that wants to continue to... Oh yeah, taxman takes it. You want to grow and you want to help more people and you want to grow your business and you want to hire more people and give opportunities to more people for them to make money and everything else that comes with it. When there's any money sat there at all, if ever any money comes in, we're always like, what should we invest it in? Like,
should we put it somewhere else?
Yeah, that money that's just come in there, if we pay for this, that'll help us do this.
Yeah.
Or if we pay for that, it'll help us do that. And you're always thinking about, you never just go, oh, let's go on holiday, mate. Let's just take this money and... Oh, yeah. Just went off to Bali
for a month.
All these reasons behind that, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you understand, it's all like trying to invest or trying to like go back and grow the business even more.
Yeah, it's just pushing on, isn't it? Pushing on. But like you say, you've got to just keep looking at it and be like, right, okay, yes, it's more stress, but in the long term, in the long run, we hope that's probably going to
be. It's funny though, you go, yeah, do you know it's more stressful? Work hard really like now, and then we'll have less stress. But then you just go, I'm just going to push again and then get more stress.
It's like bodybuilding.
Yeah, you're born, you stress, you die.
Yeah. So what dosage of L-carnitine before fasted cardio would you do it intramuscular or sub-Q?
If you do it sub-Q, you're an absolute fucking animal because that shit stings like, oh my God.
It's like putting acid in.
Oh my God, that's painful. That's painful. I always do 500, but I've recently, because of Riz, and I also want to shout out Riz, I'll send you another jumper, mate.
What a tosser. Sent him a fucking jumper out and Riz tags him saying, thanks, Kieran.
He's put another one on today.
Fucking prick, isn't he?
He's just put the 750 milligram, hasn't he, per mil. He's just brought that one out. It's quite thick, but I tried it out and it works a treat.
Do it intramuscular?
Intramuscular.
If obviously you're not doing cardio because you're lazy.
Do you know what I've done though? That's probably daft really, because I've stopped doing cardio. I've not been taking my L-carnitine. I'm like, no, hold on, I need to just take it in the morning, really, don't I? So
I do off season. I'll do pre-workout, like 250, 500, and then obviously and contest I'll do pre-cardio.
But in all honesty though, do it both.
Yeah.
Do it pre-cardio and do it pre-gym.
Well, Riz was saying to me, like, run it as high as you possibly... Try it and run it in prep as high as possible.
Yeah.
So we might do, like, fucking 750 in the morning, 750 pre-training, and then even before bed. He said he's ran it as high as he could. Obviously, he's got the company. And he was like, it worked fucking...
It's just converting fat to energy, mate. Then what's the negatives?
What this is for you, to be fair. What's your stack for cutting up?
For mine right now?
Well, just what would you...
Or what the norm?
Yeah.
Yeah, the norm, you're going to be using some form of test. I like using SUS.
Why do you like using SUS?
Just because it's got different esters of testosterone, so you're getting the fast acting, medium, slow. But I'll just inject it maybe 3 times a week, or maybe 4, maybe 5, depends, because I might do it every day in smaller doses, just to keep your blood level stable. Because you see this with guys that they go to the doctors, they have TRT, right? And it might be like a 3-monthly injection. They go and have an injection, they're fucking like, oh, I feel incredible. And then they're just like starting to feel shitter and shitter and shitter until they go in. You just got to keep your blood levels as stable as possible.
Yeah, because it mimic what the body would do.
Literally, mate, yeah. So yeah, I like to use SUS. And then a balance of Primo and Mastron. But to be fair, I prefer Mastron. The main one because it's just difficult to get all the real Primo and you never know what you're actually taking.
I've done that before where I've taken up to like 700 Primo and it was all test.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely, I could milk myself.
What's
going on? So
just a safer bet, innit? A safer bet, Mastron. And then if you're cutting, so I'll use SUS, I'll use Mastron, and then I'll start to use Trenacetate closer to whatever the show may be.
Normally, like what time?
Start on 100 milligram.
What's time scale? Like
maybe like 7 to 9 weeks.
Mate. Yeah. That's it.
7 to 9 weeks out.
Yeah.
I'm doing 150 milligram now, so literally just half a mil Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is very moderate.
Yeah.
Plenty of room to play. Closer to the show, start to add in the Anavar and Winstrol. Once you start to get really lean.
Yeah.
And then all your fat burning stack.
Yeah, that's
T3, T4, GH. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
your Himbine.
I've done it different ways with the Clen, the Himbine, and so on. Like I've done it where I've started guys out on it.
Yeah, sorry. So same with the fat burning stack. I started from day one. I'll go
But
hard.
I've done the other side, which works really well, and I'll probably speak to when I prep. I'll speak to Martin about this, or whoever I'm prepping with, probably Martin. Tom did it actually. He didn't use any fat burners, got really, really lean,
And
and
then-
then added them in, and it was
Yeah.
like a fucking game changer, because it was like we had loads of food and loads of less cardio, and we literally just built that up over weeks, like maybe say 7 or 8 weeks, where it was just take a bit of food, bit of cardio, and then it was like, all right, we're on a decent amount of food, all right amount of cardio, added cleaning, and it was like fucking.
So I think the only thing with that for me is I think you've got to know someone's body to be able, because you work with Tom for a
Yeah,
while,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you know his body. But what you got to be careful of it is, it happened to Mo. Mo was big, full, shredded, yeah, and he started the slow approach, and then closer to the show. Then he added everything in. Then he went extremely flat and couldn't fill back out.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just probably a safer bet using it first and then getting fat free and then tapering off.
Yeah, it's true.
But if you do know someone's body inside out and
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
do
yeah.
that, then it works great.
Yeah,
innit?
instead of using that's, I didn't even think of that, to be fair.
Yeah, you couldn't even feel. He was just game over.
well,
You
I've
was there,
seen
weren't
him,
you?
yeah. What's 3 pieces of advice that you give to a new client that you take on?
A new client. First of all, stick to the plan.
Yeah.
That's the biggest. Like, consistency times by time equals results always. So the more consistent you can be and the longer you can run that for, the better the results you'll get. Like, no matter, that's a fact. Advice 2, I'd say, listen to your coach in terms of, don't try and take too much advice from other people,
100%.
right? Listen to one person, because if that person gets it wrong, fine, no love lost. They've got it wrong, I'll do something with someone else. But if your coach is telling you one thing and you're second guessing it because you listen to advice from other people, that's when things go tits
And what
up.
I always say is, them people don't really know, or they'd be top coaches themselves, or you would have just used them.
Yeah.
So like I've had it in the past where, my mate Dave in Total Fitness, who's
all
never
the
been
time,
to a
yeah.
bodybuilding show, or never really been shredded, doesn't know anyone who's ever been actually competition conditioned, goes, oh, you're looking mint, mate, you look a bit flat though. Yeah, I think you should have a cheat meal. And that person, then it sinks in their head.
Start
that,
thinking I should be feeding.
I'm flat. And they start saying to me, I'm flat. And I'm like, I'll tell you when you're fucking flat, because
Yeah.
you're still fat as fuck. Yes, you could go on holiday like that, but you're not going to be stage ready.
Yeah.
Like, you're just looking at abs. Everyone's got fucking abs. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like your glutes, hamstrings, lower back. And then Dave in the gym, yeah, who the fuck's Dave? Do you know what I mean? Like, he don't know fuck all. So listening to them people, then you start emotionally making decisions and adding a bit more food in. And he says I should do this, and he says, and it's like, just ruins the whole prep.
Happens a lot as well.
Massively.
Especially you just said it's new clients.
Yeah, yeah.
It happens when people are new because they're very first experiencing these experiences. Do you know what I mean? So they've never really been lean before. So but they're leaner than they've ever been. So they think they're fucking skinless when they're not.
And they don't know, understand that.
Third one, I'd say prepare. Always prepare. No,
Yeah.
even us, even at our level, how long we've been doing it, if you do not prepare, you will 100% fail.
Yeah.
Because you've not got access to all your food everywhere. Even these days, just the night before or the morning of, get all your food ready for the day, put it in one bag and keep it on you at all times. That's simple.
That's a huge thing that I always do in prep, never do in off season. And I said,
Same.
and I said
same.
to myself, I need to prep my food the night before, because it's like saying we're doing this. It's like you think, right, I'll do it in the morning, I'll get up, and it's like you're up, you're late, it's fucking traffic, there's this, and it's like,
Yeah.
do you know what, fuck it, I'll be right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, is like you say, prepare as much as you possibly can, because then you're not gonna be reactive, you're gonna be proactive, you're gonna wake up and everything's done. The less
It's a
stress.
mindset as well, right? Because when you are dieting, it's easier because you're hungry, so you want them meals, so you'll start to make them because you're like, I can't wait to eat them, and you pack them all away. In an off season, there's sometimes when I go, look, Carissa, can you please make my meals, because I hate food so much that I don't even want to cook the fucking things, because I definitely don't want to eat them. So there's no way I'm going to cook them. Can you just sort me out, because otherwise I won't do it.
Well, I think that's the other thing in it. When you're prepping, it's like you like, all you think about is, got a meal in a minute.
When's my next meal?
I've got a meal in a minute. So if you ain't got that meal, you're fucked.
Do you know what, when you're prepping and you go to the cinema, them minutes are like hours.
Mate,
You sit there and you go, right, okay, so it's 5:45. I'm going to eat at 6. Right, I start watching this film. Oh, it's only 5:46. It's been 1 minute.
Like, fuck, every single time. Right, if you only had 200 IUs of GH, how would you use it in prep?
200 IUs, that's all you've got.
That's all you've got.
It depends how long the prep is, doesn't it? But
I just wouldn't bother.
yeah,
I would, but that if so, I don't know if someone's asking this because they've only got 200 IU.
yeah,
By the time, just save up some fucking money and buy more if you're going to start.
yeah.
This is what I say to
It
everybody.
should be long term.
GH has to be long term.
Yeah,
It can't just be it. And the thing is, with 200 IU, really, what's that work out? Even if he was doing 4 IU a day, like I can't work that out off the top of my head,
it's
but
50 days.
right, yeah. So it's not long
It's not enough, no.
Do you know what I mean? So
And I'd say 4 is the minimum you want to be using.
yeah,
The absolute minimum for
I think-
bodybuilding purposes.
I think even in an off season, you get away with a little bit less. On the prep, you could probably push it a little bit more
Yeah,
because you're not going to get as much water retention. You want to keep that fullness.
you need to keep full. Yeah,
and so on. That's what it's going to help with. So the 200, yeah, if you're going to start using GH, you've got to be able to afford. The first thing is first is just be able to afford it for a long term, rather than being like, I just sell it. No,
Yeah, sell
I
it.
still use it, but it's just a matter of like.
but you're not if you're doing one IU or 2 IUs a day, you're not going to get the benefits that you want in terms of bodybuilding. You might get the health benefits,
Yeah, 'cause
skin, hair, nails, whatever. But
Yeah,
like,
Who gives a fuck
I've
about
got no hair. I don't fuck about my nails.
that? What's the most important markers you're looking for in blood work?
We're looking at your obviously kidneys and liver. Testosterone's a big one because that's going to tell you if your test is bunk. To be fair,
I think it depends on where you're at with it. So there's different periods where we will get blood work, like you just said. If someone's come to me and they're not on anabolics and we're looking at just trying to test for their testosterone levels, then there's that. But then there's periods where I'll be like, right, let's just get your thyroid tested.
I was going to say there's no look at the thyroid as well. Yeah,
Thyroid tested because it might be deep into prep and your thyroid slowed down, your metabolism slowed down. We need to add some T4 in. We need to know where your progesterone's at, where your estrogen's at, and it's like that's another time. But if it's just a general blood work panel 8 weeks into a cycle, like you say, we're looking at ALT, we're looking at kidney functions, cholesterol, HDL, LDL, obviously.
it's going to be a little skewed because your test is going in anyway. Like,
and
can't do much about
it always is pretty much skewed. It's like, yes, we can put.
You can still get your percentage, your overall percentage, in a good range.
Yeah, and the other, like, obviously, it's not really the most important. It's like we're looking at the whole thing on a holistic level to be like, what markers are out and why are they out and what is causing it?
Yeah.
And then are we still able to? Are they just out or are they just? Are they a matter of?
And then do we need to double down on different types of health supplements to bring them back in range?
Yeah.
So
there's not really most important. It's all on a grand scheme. I think it's like I had a blood work panel sent to me the other day, and he was only running 175 mega test, and his testosterone was at 83, which is more than double the fucking normal range. So I was like, and that shouldn't really put someone at, but everyone's different.
Everyone's got a different start point. Yeah.
His other markers was out a little bit because his testosterone was double.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course it's going to be, but he's meant to be on a cruise. So then it's like there's not going to be like
you get people going, oh mate, me estrogen's up. Yeah, but your testosterone's fucking 200, mate.
Yeah,
but estrogen, it's bad that, innit? Like, no, you need estrogen.
As long as you're not getting any estrogenic effects.
Yeah.
And you're there, like, well, you're sweet.
Yeah, crack on.
Yeah, keep going. That's what I think back in the day, a lot of people just be like, run an AI for the sake of running AI.
Yeah.
Because it was just on the sheet.
Yeah.
What would you recommend, higher test or higher primo or 1-to-1 ratio?
I'd take test as high as you can until you get any negative side effects.
Yeah.
And
but what would you put your primo? Let's say it's primo or mastron because we don't really use primo that much. What would you put your primo at?
if you're saying so, if the test and the primo is the same dosage.
So would you say like run your test at 1 gram and primo at 600? Run your test at 600 and
it's so hard to answer because like everyone's different. But like a sweet spot for me, test is probably around like 750.
Yeah.
Primo I've done up to 1 gram and didn't really get much out of it.
No.
I'd probably say anything up to like 600, 400 to 600 is decent. But
I personally be like 750 test and then say 600 mast.
Yeah.
And then what I tend to do is, because I don't really like 19 nors like Trey and MPP and so on, I might add an EQ to that a little bit, or I might be like, okay, well we can push that. If I am getting a bit of estrogenic effect, I might be okay. I'll just bump that mastron up a little bit.
So I've done this right now, 750 test and bumped the mastron to 1 gram.
Yeah.
I feel great off it, and the estrogenic side effects went, but because there was doubt losing weight so fucking quick, I've just bumped the fucking test to 1 gram as well.
So you just bump it all to 1 gram.
Just even it back out, see if I can fill back out. But
but
I've got no estrogenic side effects now, so sweet.
Right. First time you prepped, how did you find it? Last question.
How do I find it? It took like every fucking ounce of everything that I had to be able to do it.
I try to explain it to someone, is until you do it, you can't comprehend it. I think it's like, I had this conversation about high rocks the other day, actually. One of my best pals, he smashes high rocks now, but he also used to smash prep, and he used to train with me, Cootie. And I said, I'm having this argument with someone, what's worse, high rocks or prep? And he was like, hands down, prep. He was like, high rocks feels shit for 2 hours.
While you're doing it,
you're doing it, but you survive. Prep is 16, 20 weeks of pure...
24 hours a day.
24 hours mental. So it's like, people can't comprehend that because they've never stuck to something so disciplined and felt so lethargic, but has to be doing more every single day, day on day. So yeah, that's it.
And the harder it gets, the harder you have to work, because you have to keep increasing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But also, like, the first time you prep, well, for us anyway, a bit different now, because obviously you've got some good coaches in the industry that can help, but like we would hammer ourselves into the ground. We'd be doing cardio that we didn't need to do.
Extra.
We'd be eating way less food than we needed to eat.
Fish and rice.
Do you know what I mean? So like, it was absolute killer, wasn't it?
It was. But the thing is that I was having this chat to Brandon, who's doing his first comp, and it builds this crazy amount of mental fortitude.
Yeah, huge.
And it shows you what you're really capable of. That whole, like, do actions builds confidence in yourself to go, nah, I could fucking do that, me. And then it just compounds then.
I think as well, because at the time, it is your first prep as well, and you're not very good, and you don't feel you've earned the right to be walking around Trafford Centre with a tub of sweet potato and chicken, and people looking at you thinking, the fuck's this? What's this doing? But once you've been doing it for years and years, it's just the norm,
It's
isn't
just
it?
the norm to you, yeah. So yeah, the first ever prep is the hardest one you'll probably ever do, but probably the most rewarding one.
You learn a lot.
You learn a lot. Right, I think time's gone quick, man. Fucking hell. As always.
Yeah.
It's like your sex.
Yeah,
over, in, really fucking good, but done.
That's exactly what I am. Efficient.
And leaving them wanting more.
Yeah.
No, thank you for watching. As always, glad to be back. It's been a pleasure.
Let's go and train, get massive now.
We're going to go and train now, get even smaller. Kieran's going to get lighter than he was a week ago, and I'm going to try and get bigger. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Comment below if you can. I might turn them comments on, not get some shit. But yeah, no, thanks guys. Appreciate it.